Welcome to another edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover on the lunch break, powered by JM&E and also the BS3 Network. Watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Musk, Fire TV, and Roku, courtesy of BS3 TV. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If you don't, just go to bs3network.com or bs3tvlive.com. I'm, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Happy soon to be 2024. Welcome to another edition of the show. Hit me up in the comments here on YouTube, Facebook, Musk, if you still use Musk, which I don't very often. I'm more on Threads, Spoutable, and TikTok. But let's get into it, talk some basketball for the most part in these next few minutes. Going to be a quick rapid fire edition of the show. So let me know your thoughts on the Rockets now lost 2 in a row at home for the first time this year. Last night, following last night's 129-113 loss to the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant and Eric Gordon put on the show. KD had a triple-double, his first with the Suns, a career high tying 16 assists in that game. Most of those assists came courtesy of Eric Gordon. EG scored a season high 27 points, was raining threes all over the Rockets, and some friendly chatter between him and his former teammates. But yes, the Rockets have now lost 2 in a row at home. They won 11 straight at home, and now they're going the other direction. And now they're starting to get some injuries. Dylan Brooks with the oblique strain, Jabari Smith Jr. with the left ankle sprain. Not sure if either one of them will be available for Friday's matchup against the Philadelphia 76ers. And also not sure if big fella Joel Embiid will be in that game for the Rockets to go against. So the Rockets could be going on a 3-game losing streak at home if they don't win Friday night against Philadelphia. Tony M., how are you? What say you about that? Tony is a loyal supporter of the Houston Roundball Review, watches many of the shows that live stream on the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube. I will have a Let's Talk Rocket show tonight around 8:30, 9 o'clock after I do my producing for Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Might have some TSU news. Well, I don't know. TSU's Board of Regents are having a meeting today in about 30 minutes to discuss and hopefully finalize and finally announce their next head football coach. Hopefully, that will be resolved today and announced today. Signs, I think it still will be Fred McNair, not Andre Johnson or any other people who've been names have been tossed around, but we shall see. TSU's kind of looking bad in how they've handled this process, but hopefully it will be resolved today. Meeting begins, scheduled to begin today at 12:30 p.m. So if I receive word about a resolution before this edition of the lunch break ends, I will announce it during the show. I am got Tony's regarding the Rockets not stressing. If we're shorthanded, we can squeeze in a little extra player development. That's a positive vibe, Tony. But I'm going to say it again. Mentioned on the Folks Talking Sports. Told my colleagues, and I think on last week's LTHR Talking Rockets. If by some miracle, and the way they're playing, it would be a miracle because they've lost 27 in a row. And after tonight losing to Boston, they'll be 28 in a row. But if by some miracle, my Pistons win on New Year's night against the Rockets in H-Town, I will be cheesing and talking much noise to Rocket fans on my shows. So beware. Last Thursday, I guaranteed on the show Detroit would win. They didn't do it. Then they've lost again. Then they set the record on Tuesday, losing at home to the Nets. They're at Boston tonight. They're going to lose tonight. I don't care if Jaylen Brown and Tatum play or don't play. Either way, just a question of how many points they're going to lose tonight. But the Rockets hosted Pistons this coming Monday as part of their twin bobblehead promotion for Amen and Oscar Thompson. The twin bobbleheads will be given away, I think, to the first. I still have that slide at info. Let's see if I can pull that up. Kent Wimmer's going like a superstar against Detroit. Well, he won't pass the ball, so he'll score. He's good at that. Not much else. But there we go. Rockets and the Pistons collaborate for the NBA's first dual theme night, featuring bobblehead giveaways of twins Amen and Oscar Thompson. First one will be, of course, this Monday, January 1st at Toyota Center. And I believe this info here. There we go. The Rockets will distribute 5,000 bobbleheads for their home game against the Pistons on January 1st. So, Tony M, be in the building. Put your face in the place to see the Rockets lose to the Pistons on January 1st. Wouldn't that be something? That would be disappointing for Rocket fans for sure, and stunning for Detroit fans, most definitely. But this edition of the Roundball Review Takeover, streaming on Roku via the BS3 network. I'm going to talk about the Cougs. I'm also going to ask and request for those who want to advertise on this show. Email me at kgardner@thehrr.com. Let's get rid of that ticker. Let it stick up there for a moment so folks can read it a little bit better. kgardner@thehrr.com. You want to advertise on the takeover. Reach many more eyeballs on this show thanks to Roku streaming. So you have Roku, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, etc. So you want to advertise on this show, email me at kgardner@the, some folks say the, some folks say the, HRR.com. kgardner@thehrr.com. And of course, other ways to support the Roundball Review, like my Roundball Review mug here. Go to the website there via Linktree, or of course at HoustonRoundballReview.com. If you're watching the show live on YouTube for the Roundball Review channel, you can click on the shop button and start purchasing items that way, like the mug, like the HR hoodies, zip up hoodies as well. The zip ups are available through the end of this month, so a few more days for that. But I want to talk about this. ESPN bracketologist Joe Lunardi, he takes a ribbing from some folks, questioning his credentials and things of that sort. And usually that's when it pertains to that person's team. He and Charlie Cream, women's hoop side, this season post a weekly bracketology, their brackets, and starting next week, January, once conference play begins in hoops, they will have a twice weekly updates for men's and women's basketball. Joe Lunardi, Joe Lunardi, in his write-up, his bracketology for this week for men's hoops, has the Cougs men's basketball as a 1 seed in the South region, the Dallas region. But his write-up, Tony M., you're a longtime follower of Houston basketball, but from Lunardi, it's time to talk about Houston as a national championship contender. Again, somehow the Cougars have gotten lost as Purdue, Kansas, UConn, and Arizona dominate the number 1 seed discussions. Yet here we are with Houston back on the top line and owner of a perfect 4-0 record in Quad 1. The Cougars are now a December 30th date with Penn away from entering their first Big 12 season undefeated. In the past 3 years, all Kelvin Sampson has done is produced consecutive Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final 4 teams. There is only one more rung on that ladder, and the 2023-24 edition of the Cougars is in perfect position to take that step. When I read that, that's just another example of a great job Coach Kelvin Sampson and the staff have done in revitalizing Houston Cougars men's basketball in the 10 years they've been at Houston. Before they arrived, Houston men's hoops was an afterthought, locally and obviously nationally. Five Slamma Jam was a long, long time ago. It was in the early 80s. Dark, dark times for men's basketball until Coach Kevin Sampson arrived on campus and has turned things around and made men's hoops nationally relevant. So as a proud Houston Cougar alum, University of Houston alum, to see Lenardi's write-up, it gave me more of a sense of pride because I've covered UA's basketball since the beginning of the Roundball Review, going on 30 years. I've been around to see some dimly lit Hall-Finance Pavilion games, sparsely attended games at Hall-Finance Pavilion where there may be one or two people in an entire section at the building, where those poorly designed, constructed, quote-unquote, suites, which block the views of those walking around the concourse to view the court. So I've seen some dark, dark days for the University of Houston in men's hoops. So to see the Cougars once again acknowledged as a contender for the national championship this season speaks volumes. I'm not picking them to win the championship this year, but because of the way the tournament is set up, it's one and done. It's not a series. It's not 3 out of 5, not 4 out of 7. You just got to win one game to advance and then do it 6 times. 1, 1, 1. Let's keep going. So facing big man like Zach Edey once, hey, just got to beat him one time, not 4 times. UConn, Don McClingan, one time. KU, Hunter Dickinson, just one time. Don't have to face them 4 times, 5 times, 7 times. Just got to beat them one time once the tournament starts. So it is just miraculous, the turnaround for Houston Cougars men's basketball. Rex 32, how are you doing? Thanks for chiming in. Thank you for watching during your lunch break, the lunch break edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. Big Thrillo, getting close, my man. 12:30 p.m. TSU's meeting begins to discuss their head football coach and what they're going to do. If they do the right thing, but time will tell. If I get that text message and say that it's done, I'll let you know. Now, one thing in the write-up, toward the end there, said the Cougars are in perfect position to take that step to win the national championship. No, they're not. No, they're not. Unfortunately, they're not because of the season-ending injury to forward Terrence Arsenault. Terrence tore his Achilles on December 16th in the game against the Aggies. He had surgery last Wednesday, so that had been the 20th. Is that right? 20th? Recovery went well, but he'll be out for the rest of this season and be ready for the 2024-25 season. So that is the little blemish on the perfect plan for this season's team. Thrillo going back. Used to like when Coach Sampson would chest bump Rocket players when he was on the staff. He could tell he was a player's coach, and he is that through and through. But I'm going to play a clip from Coach Sampson's presser from yesterday, December 27th, when he was asked how the impact or the loss of Terrence Arsenault will impact this team. And Coach also talks about areas that he needs to improve. This team needs to improve, and he's got to work on that. He and the staff have to formulate a plan of what they're going to do going forward after the game this Saturday against Penn to wrap up non-conference play. And then the Big 12, the winter storm is coming, starting on January 6th when they host West Virginia. So this clip is from Coach Sampson answering the question from colleague Joseph Duarte from the Houston Chronicle.
Never forget. We knew where he was with this. A month from now, people will forget about Terrence, but we never forget. We knew where he was with this team and the role he played. And it chews up into your depth. Where it really hurts you is in practice, because you just don't have guys that can do what he did. And he's playing the 4. When he was on the floor, our defense was different than J1 is at the floor. We have our, both of them have different responsibilities in our coverage calls. Like against Utah, Terrence was much more effective the way we guarded them with Terrence versus J1. And then probably by the first time out, I realized that we needed to change this. So J1 played some probably more 5 in that game, but Terrence was a real problem for them when he was at the 4. So having Terrence as a hit. Of course, I know how this injury thing works. Everybody feels bad for a couple of days, and a month from now, what's wrong with you guys? How come you're not winning? But you can't trick the old guys with that stuff. Yeah, I mean, we're every game that we've played going in, I thought we'd win every game that we played. We haven't played a team yet that I didn't expect to beat. But there's a lot of things that we need to work on our curveballs. Everybody that plays us knows what we're going to do. Sometimes it's what they're going to do. It's just not always easy to play against it, but you know what you're going to do. But that's not going to work in every game we play. We've got to have some off-speed pitch. Our heater is going to have some off nights. So the teams are going to figure it out, and they're going to have ways that they're going to beat us, and we're going to have to figure out how to counter some things. So we got to add some things in our toolbox that we can have. That's why, first couple of days back, I use basketball as a conditioner. I don't condition and then go to basketball. You combine the two. You use basketball as a conditioner. But today, we'll and our guys are in pretty good shape. I mean, I tried to hurt them last night and I couldn't. And that was a little bit surprising. But I think most of them were prepared for it, because the older guys always tell the new guys what to expect. But we got some things we need to work on, Joseph. We're certainly not a finished product. We're still very much a work in progress, especially after Terrence went down. We've got to figure out some things, and right now I don't have the answers for everything. We just got to keep working at it.
Honest assessment from Coach Kelvin Sampson about the Cougars, and even though they are undefeated, 12-0, he acknowledges they still have things to work on and areas to improve, especially without Terrence Arsenault, who's out for the rest of this season with the torn Achilles and surgery on the Achilles tear. Life without Terrence takes another step this Saturday, 6 p.m. against Penn. Game is on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. See the Cougs are 12-0. And let me pull up the next one to talk about women's team is 9-2. They will debut their first Big 12 game this Saturday afternoon, home against Texas Tech, 1 o'clock. So a full day for UH basketball fans and media who are going to cover both games. Like me, I think I may be one of the few that covers both games. But the women's game, 1 o'clock, ESPN+. Excuse me, Big 12 Now on ESPN+. But let's discuss the net rankings for men's hoops. And Rex 32, I'm going to get to your question momentarily. Net rankings for the Big 12 teams this season. This is through the games played December 27th. 3 of the top 5 are Big 12 teams. Houston at 1, BYU 3, Iowa State 5. Kansas is 15. It's kind of surprising. Baylor 17 after getting crushed by Michigan State and losing to Duke. Oklahoma 20. So that's 6 of the top 20 teams in the net are Big 12 teams. Then the Bearcats, Cincinnati 42, TCU 47, Texas Tech 64, Texas 67. That's kind of surprising. 82, UCF, K-State 85, Oklahoma State 134, and West Virginia 179. So clearly, it's not like last year when every conference game was a Q1 or Q2 for teams in the Big 12. West Virginia at 179 right now is a quadrant 4 opponent. UCF, K-State, and Oklahoma State are Q3 opponents. Then everyone else is a Q1 or Q2. So 4 games. I think Houston plays those bottom 4 teams once, I think. But as home games, those 4 are either Q3 or Q4. 4 out of the 18 for the Cougs. So far cry from Q1 to Q2. But then next year, Big 12, you're adding Arizona to the mix. And I think Arizona is like either number 2 or top 10 for sure in the net. So next season, Big 12 men's hoops just going to get better and more grinding, more of a task, more of a buzzsaw. But it's going to be so much fun to watch and cover. Yep, Arizona is number 2 currently in the net, men's basketball. Answer this question right here from Rex. What are my highlights and lowlights from 2023? From a basketball on court perspective, the Cougs losing to Miami in the regional semifinal and how they lost. They lost by not playing Cougar basketball. Did not even look like a Kelvin Sampson team. They were out toughed. Miami took it to them. The guards lit them up. Front court lit them up. More physical. So that was a low light on the court. And then clearly, from a more human element, is the passing of Reggie Chaney. No question. This season, from a human perspective, has not gotten any lower than that. Getting that news that Reggie passed away. Highlights: the Cougs really walking through the AAC championship season, playing so well, being ranked number 1. A lot of times, those are highlights. So that's what I say about that, highlights and lowlights. But definitely from a human element perspective, Reggie Chaney passing away is definitely the biggest lowlight for me and probably a lot of Cougar alums and supporters. Women's basketball. As I said, women's hoops starts Big 12 play this Saturday. Full slate, complete slate in Big 12 women's basketball. First up, high noon. And also, let me say this, put myself on the big screen for this one. Big 12 women's basketball is one of 3 conferences. I think the Pac-12 and the SEC maybe are the other 2 that every member in those conferences has a winning record. Pac-12, SEC, and the Big 12. The Big 12 women's basketball has had a good non-conference, notwithstanding OU's home loss to Southern a few days ago, 79-70. But beyond that, Big 12 women's basketball has turned things around. And let's get into it. West Virginia, 11-0 at Kansas, 7-4, high noon, Big 12 now on ESPN+. But that second matchup, big. That's a way to open up conference play right there. Undefeated Baylor, 11-0 in Austin against undefeated Texas, 13-0, 1 o'clock on Fox. I have to watch it on my laptop while I'm at Fertitta watching the Cougars host Texas Tech, also 1 o'clock. But Baylor, Texas, two top 10 teams in the net. Let's get into the net rankings right here, women's basketball. Texas, number 2. K-State, number 8. Baylor, number 10. TCU, 22nd. West Virginia, 31. Kansas, 43. Iowa State, 54. Texas Tech, who the Cougars host this Saturday, 55. Oklahoma State, 65. UCF, 82. Oklahoma, 83. Coach Huey and the Cougars, 91. BYU, 95. Cincinnati, 102. So overall, Big 12 women's basketball, from 1 to 14, their 14th ranked team is 102. Big 12 men's basketball, West Virginia is the 14th ranked team, and the Mountaineers are way, way past 102. Oak State is 134, and West Virginia is 179. So you can see, not as good a year in Big 12 men's hoops, but a better year in Big 12 women's hoops. Back to the schedule. K-State, 12-1. Ayoka Lee's back, one of the best centers in women's basketball at Cincinnati. Bearcats, 8-3. 1 o'clock on Big 12 now, ESPN+. Cougars hosting Texas Tech. Tech is 11-2. Cougs 9-2. Tech, stronger non-conference schedule. Better net ranking of 55. Cougars 91, I believe. Next, UCF, another newcomer to the conference, 9-1. Their non-conference wasn't that tough either. But they're at Oklahoma, Sooners 6-5. Trying to bounce back from their loss to Southern. Southern from the SWAC. That game at 2 o'clock. That's on ESPN+, and not officially Big 12 now on ESPN+, because Oklahoma has their own Tier 3 rights. So their streaming platform is not exactly, it's more Sooner Sports Vision, Sooner Vision than Big 12 now on ESPN+. Iowa State at Oklahoma State. Both teams 7-4. 2 o'clock, Big 12 now on ESPN+. And then wrapping it up, BYU 10-3 at undefeated TCU, led by Sedona Prince, who's leading the women's hoops basketball in double-doubles this season. The current Big 12 Women's Basketball Player of the Week. I'm a voter on that. I voted for her. And then her running mate, Madison Connor, is also won Big 12 Player of the Week honors this season. So TCU, new head coach, turned things around quickly. Undefeated, ranked in the top 25, but in the net, ranked at 22. It's a lot to go on, discuss with Big 12 women's basketball beginning their conference portion of the season this Saturday. Full slate of games, all 14 teams in action. That big one, Baylor at Texas on Fox at 1 o'clock. Take this break with a quick segment so you know what BS3 TV is all about, because you're watching the lunch break edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Musk, but of course, as well as on Roku via BS3 TV. Be back in 90 seconds.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to the Houston Roundball Review Takeover on the lunch break, powered by JM&E and also the BS3 Network. I am, of course, Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If you don't, go to bs3network.com or bs3tvlive.com. My thoughts on Marcus Sasser on the Pistons and the 27 straight losses for my beloved team, soon to be 28. After tonight's loss in Boston, Marcus has not played well consistently. He shot the ball well sometimes. He's turned it over too much sometimes. He's not played great defense too many times. So he has been like many of his Detroit teammates, been inconsistent, far too much, either not making shots, turning it over, or playing poor defense. Add it all up, 27 straight L's. But he'll be fine. I think he'll get more playing time once GM Troy Weaver starts making trades and getting rid of a lot of the dead weight and the older players and players who I think were part of the losing culture and the losing mindset that has creeped into the franchise. Get rid of them for some draft picks. Sign some, I think they should sign a guy like DJ Augustine, veteran point guard, to run the offense, the second unit. Second unit, and Rocket fans will see on Monday in the game, Detroit's second unit is not good. It's just struggles to get into offense, struggles to make shots, open shots, struggles to defend, struggles mightily. Starting five, healthier, playing better. But once those subs start coming in, the lead goes away, and it's hard to get back. And when you're struggling and you don't have confidence, and you're just like, here we go again. So that's another reason why they've lost 27 in a row. And the opponent's like, well, we know at some point Detroit's going to just crater, and we just got to hang around and we'll get it done and get the dub. And that's what's happened a lot this season. But Marcus, as Coach Sampson said on Wednesday, Marcus said to Coach, you built me to overcome adversity. I'm built for this. He'll be fine. Detroit will be fine in due time. I'm not sure where win number 3 will come from. It might come Monday. I doubt it, but it's going to come. Detroit will not go 2-80. I'm certain of that. After that, I don't know, but they will not go 2-80, and ownership will not change. Not going to sell the team or none of that stuff either. But back to it, H-Town basketball, kind of light because of the holidays. Not much action on the college landscape. HCU men's basketball and women's basketball doesn't play until January. Women, January 3rd. Men, January 6th. The men lost at A&M, Texas A&M, on December 22nd by 27. Women's basketball, last game that they played, they won on the 18th versus Shriner. Men are 2-9. Women are 5-6. PV tonight at UTSA in San Antonio. Last game was a 26-point road loss at Rice. The margin of defeat kind of surprised me, and I'm disappointed Coach Byron Smith for sure. PV women on a losing streak. They lost at Texas A&M by 52. They're next in action this Saturday, December 30th, on the Hill versus Wiley College, tipping off at 3 p.m. Rice men at lost Louisiana on the 22nd. It was a step back for the team's defense. They had played better defensively, but give them 84 points, lose by 17 was a disappointment to Coach Scott Parra. They're off. Their next game seems like it's part of the American Athletic Conference schedule makers' plan to have a Houston area team in Tulane in January. So Rice will begin their AAC conference play, AAC season, January 3rd in New Orleans at Tulane, 8 o'clock Central on ESPNU. Also on the 3rd, Rice women, 6-5, will start AAC play, hosting Wichita State, 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus, inside Tudor Fieldhouse. Texas Southern, Thurlow, cover your eyes, man. Men's and women's basketball, both of them are 1-9. TSU men play tonight, 6 p.m. inside H&P Arena. But you can also watch the game on the TSU Athletics YouTube channel. They're hosting the College of Biblical Studies, Houston. So CBS Houston is the name of the team. TSU will not be 1-9 after tonight. They will be 2-9 after they dispatch of College of Biblical Studies. Texas Southern coming off. Stanford's a good team. But 87-65, I didn't know they were that much better than TSU, but there you go. Women, also 1-9, coming off a home loss to Cal Baptist out of the WAC by 21, 83-62. Their next game this Saturday, December 30th, home against Tarleton State, 12 o'clock inside H&P Arena. But that game can also be seen on the YouTube channel, TSU Athletics on YouTube. And Rex, you are not alone. When I saw the schedule and it said CBS Houston, my first thought was, is there a CBS network Houston? Is that who they're playing? I mean, what is this? So I had to do some checking. College of Biblical Studies. Oh, okay. So NAIAs or something like that, or I don't get me lying about whether they're accredited or anything. I don't know, but that's who TSU plays tonight inside H&P Arena. Good luck to the Tigers. Reminder, scan that QR code for your Houston Roundball Review merch. Let me do a little bit better with the quickness here to remove this, just for you can scan the code there. Scan that QR code for Houston Roundball Review merch. And Ben and BS3, how are you doing? Thank you for allowing me to be on the show, on the platform, on BS3 TV, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV. You can scan that QR code right there for your hoodies, your pullover hoodies, long sleeve and sweatshirts. And of course, that QR code for the zip up hoodies. Available for limited time only. That's till the end of the month / 2023. Zip up hoodies, all of that available. All of this merch, Houston Roundball Review merch, different ways to show your support of the Houston Roundball Review. Walk around in style, walk around looking cool, feeling warm and looking cool with your Houston Roundball Review hoodie, which I'm going to wear probably Friday or Saturday at basketball, so folks can see me and my handsome face in my red Houston Roundball Review hoodie. And naturally, that upper right, that advertise here spot, that could be your banner. That could be your way for people to see your company logo. If you want to advertise on this show, on the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, email me at kgardner@thehrr.com. Let's see. Oh, yeah. TSU, man, oh, man. If they lose tonight, they're not going to lose tonight. They're not going to entertain it. They're not going to lose tonight. Does the game actually count? I'm not sure it does. Well, it counts in TSU's win-loss column, but in terms of like toward the net rankings, no, it won't count. It'll be a non-Division I game. So we're not counting in terms of strength of schedule, net criteria like that. So no. And I'm not sure if I can, let's see. Thrillo, do you want to know where TSU is ranked in the net? do you really want to know on the men's side where TSU is ranked? TSU is ranked 320. 320 out of 300 and what is it? 45 or 360, whatever it is now in basketball. 320 on the men's side. Yeah, on the men's side. And then on the women's side, let's see. TSU women's basketball is ranked probably right around there as well. Let's see. TSU women's basketball is ranked. Gee, I'm still scrolling, Thrillo. 346. So I think there are 360 teams in Division One because Alabama State is 358. But yes, TSU women, Lady Tigers, 1-9, are ranked 346 in the net. And the TSU men, also 1-9, are ranked 320 in the net. But hey, SWAC play is right around the corner. So both teams will have chances to get back on the winning ways, and they will not finish with one win. I'm certain of that. I still have faith in Coach Jones and the men's team. Come SWAC tournament time, Coach Skeet and her squad, she has not been around long enough for us to have faith in her in terms of getting to the SWAC championship, conference championship, and winning. So she has to prove herself. Her second year at TSU as head coach. Time will tell. Another young team for Coach Skeet and the Lady Tigers of Texas Southern. Thrillo summed it up succinctly. Yes, we have some work to do. Back to the Rockets on this edition of the Lunch Break, Houston Roundball Review Takeover. Jalen Green, 6 for 12 from three-point range last night. Scored 23 points. First time in, I think, 9 games or so that he scored 20 or more. Jalen said he had not lost confidence, keep shooting. He said Coach Udoka still has confidence in him. He still believes in Jalen. Did last night's performance by Jalen change anyone's thoughts of whether the Rockets should trade Jalen Green? He was 8 for 20 overall, so he was just 2 for 8 on twos, but 6 for 12 from 3. Should the Rockets keep Jalen for another year? This is his first year under Coach Udoka. Some would say his first year of being actually coached how to be an NBA player, even though this is his third season in the NBA. Some fans want Jalen gone, period. It's his third year. They're not acknowledging any of that. They want him gone. Mostly empty stats from Jalen. Still hasn't proven he can impact winning. That's fair. Jamon, see you tonight on Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Probably start around 9 o'clock Central Time. So thank you for chiming in today on the Takeover. Tony M says, keep working, Jalen. Thrillo says, Rockets don't have enough consistent scoring. That Silas Rockets have been showing up more and more on the defensive side since the shots aren't falling. With last night's loss to Phoenix, and the Suns had lost 3 or 4 straight road games before winning last night. The Rockets are 0-9. 0-9 when their opponent scores 120 or more this year. 0-9. So see, Rex goes with this is year 1 of actual coaching for Jalen. Thrillo says Rockets do fight. They compete. But they're 0-9 when opponents score 120 or more against them. Last night's game against the Suns was the first without Dillon Brooks. Dillon being the impact player defensively, The guy who usually defends the other team's best scorer was not there to go against KD. Kevin Durant was just dishing and swishing and facilitating, like Clyde Frazier says on calling Knicks games, dishing and swishing. KD had career high tying 16 assists. He had 10 assists in the first half. I think 6 or 7 assists in the second quarter. Most thanks to Eric Gordon. And I got to say this. It was like some of the Rocket players last night did not know who Eric Gordon was or forgot who Eric Gordon was or did not view the scouting report or I mean, because Eric Gordon was open for standstill for catch and shoot threes a lot. EG should have said during the game after his third three, you don't know who I am. This is what I do. I make threes. This is what I do. Y'all better guard me. And he kept knocking down threes. He kept knocking down threes. KD would draw a double team, kick it out to Eric Gordon. I mean, bucket. As Jalen Green said to media last night in the locker room, EG lit us up. Yeah, he did. So why do y'all do anything about that? Tony M. Well, see, Tony, this is where my point as I'm getting into the final moments of this edition of the Roundball Review Takeover. Rockets have played 29 games, allowed 120 or more 9 times. They've held opponents under 100 8 times. I think they won all those games when they held somebody under 100. So it's like feast or famine for the Rockets. If Doc, thank you very much for chiming in on Facebook. She's watching, I think, on the Roundball Review Facebook page, I think. Thank you very much for watching. Spread the word about the Roundball Review show, this edition of the lunch break, the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. So if they control tempo and hold teams under 100, they win. If they don't control tempo, give it 120 or more, they lose. What's going to happen Friday against Philly? Not sure Joel Embiid will play, but if he plays, big fella going to work. He's going to go to work against Alperen Sengun. Alperen's going to get his, unless Joel gets him in foul trouble in the first quarter, which he could if Joel plays. That's kind of uncertain as of right now. But not sure if Jabari Smith will play due to his sprained left ankle. So if they're without Jabari and without Dillon Brooks, and Tari Eason and his leg issue may keep him from playing, too many games in a week, I think Tari will play Friday, but I'm not certain of that. So it's possible, in a worst case scenario, that the Rockets could be without 3 of the best defensive players, Dillon, Jabari, and Tari. Tony M., what say you then? What would happen against Philly? More playing time for Cam Whitmore, for sure. More playing time for Amen Thompson. So we'll see. We'll find out more later on today. And then, of course, earlier tomorrow, Friday, about the status of all those players, Dillon, Jabari, Tari Eason, and Joel Embiid. Big fella plays. It could be ugly. And the Rockets could be on a 3-game losing streak at home. Tony asks, what happened to... He's no longer a secret. Tony, Jae'Sean Tate is more effective as a secret. The more teams know about him and prepare for him, the less he does. That's what he does. Thriller says the Rockets still haven't hit their stride yet, and I'm not sure they're going to for a while. Because of injuries, because of playing more back-to-backs. After this, let's see, they got 5 more games on this 7-game homestand. So after these next 5, they're going to go on the road for a while. So that'll take its toll. That'll probably also limit practices and learning time for the youngsters. So this next month or so could be kind of rough. And J-Mon is concerned the Rockets will fall outside the top 10 soon as the Warriors and Grizzlies, now the Jazz back. Memphis will be different. They'll be better. Start to heat up. So we shall see. It all starts the next edition of this, the 3rd game of the homestand, Friday against the Sixers. How about this, J-Mon? You agree with Tony here? Right now, just maintain and ride it out until the All-Star break. And Tony M, ride it out. I haven't checked. Where are the Rockets in the standings? Are they 10? After losing 2 straight at home, where are they? I can pull up real quick in these final moments of the show here. Let's see. The Rockets, 2-28. 2-28 looks bad. You know it's bad, but it looks bad compared to Boston is 23-6. 2-28. Rockets currently are 8th. Half game ahead of Phoenix and Golden State. Phoenix and Golden State are both 15-15. So the Rockets are 2 games out of 6th and a half a game out of 11th. Well, the 10th spot, tie. And they probably will be out of that based on the injury status to Dylan, Jabari, et cetera. This next week, they could be out of the top 10. J-Mon says Rockets should demand the Stone improve the roster to the play-in, to make the play-in. I think they'll make it. I think they will do something. I do. All right, everybody. Excellent show. Give you your props as I look for my sound effects. Salute to you all. Going to cut it short a little bit. See if I can get news about TSU and their football coach in the meeting going on. But as always, thank you for watching the show. Thank you for your participating in the show. This edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, Roku via BS3 Network, YouTube, and also on Musk. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Always, thank you for your time. Get you a mug, a t-shirt, a hoodie, a tank top, a tote bag, a lot of different ways. Put the website up there, the link to the website, the bonfire.com merch, or just click on the shop button located below the video here on the YouTube channel for the Houston Roundball Review. Buy you some merch. Take advantage of that end of the year deal for the zip up hoodies available through the end of this month, through the end of December 31st. The zip up hoodies are nice. You can get those as well. Check them out right there. But as always, remember the Houston Roundball Review. Been around since 1994. Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Y'all take care. Peace.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Thursday, December 28th, 2023. Number 1, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, and the White House Homeland Security Advisor Liz Sherwood Randall traveled to Mexico City Wednesday to meet with Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador to discuss ever-expanding numbers of migrants crossing into the United States. Simultaneously, a caravan of an estimated 8,000 migrants are making their way through Mexico to the Texas border. Officials in northern cities are bracing for more arrivals, many sent by bus by Texas Governor Greg Abbott, as local shelters are not only overwhelmed and struggling, but also facing the arrival of winter. Number 2. In 2023, generative AI chatbots like ChatGPT and Bard sparked global interest in AI. Experts say the best is yet to come, with AI evolving in the workplace to empower knowledge workers. In 2024, AI agents will do more than chat and generate information. They'll get things done for you, like making reservations and travel plans. Number 3, make sure you get your cardio in this winter. Don't let the cold weather give you an excuse not to move your body. The What You Need to Know newsletter and our partners at Black Health Matters give you tips to keep your body moving during a cold winter. Number 4, a recent study from the nonpartisan Pew Research Center found that Black news consumers think local reporters do a better job of covering Black communities than the national media. An earlier Pew study found that Black Americans are more likely than other races or ethnicities to closely follow local news. Findings were based on a survey of more than 4,700 Black adults of different ages and party affiliations across the country. Number 5. As the new year approaches, many people make New Year's resolutions. However, setting resolutions can cause stress and pressure. Instead, experts recommend focusing on holistic well-being and self-care. This includes mindfulness, self-compassion, fostering relationships, and expressing oneself creatively. Creating a sense of hominess in living spaces and connecting with nature can also improve mental well-being. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. The best friendships have fun as an important element, creating heartfelt memories and connections. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with old friends Yolanda Starks-White and J. Anthony Brown as we discuss not only the headlines, but going back a ways with some of our memories. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.